I'm Katie Jo Daniels. I am a respiratory therapist at St. Cloud Hospital.
My name is Kendra Sandman. I'm a registered respiratory therapist and I work for Rice Memorial Hospital.
I'm Carrie Oren and I am the Director of Rehabilitation Services and Respiratory Therapy for the Wilmer Market.
My name is Nick Gangle. I'm a department educator for the Respiratory Therapy Department. Been a respiratory therapist for about 10 years.
For the past 19 years.
For 10 years.
I've been doing this for 13 years.
I'm from Atwater, Minnesota.
I grew up in Benson.
Grew up in Big Lake, Minnesota.
Here in St. Cloud.
My grandmother was a nurse and my sister's a nurse, but I knew I didn't want to do nursing, but I wanted to do something healthcare because I knew that's something that I could do anywhere.
My sister grew up with a pediatric heart condition, so I always knew that I wanted to be medical of some sort. And we had an incident at one of her open heart surgeries where she flatlined it, and the respiratory therapist was the first one that came in and started compressions on her. And I looked at my mom and I said, I'm gonna be that. So respiratory is in charge of airway, so we put a tube down the throat to help them breathe, hook them up to a machine, which is a ventilator. You'll hear the term life support. Life support is what respiratory is. We're constantly assessing the lungs and we're doing blood draws that no one else in the hospital can do, which makes you feel really cool. We a lot of times are the circulation people. We do the compressions and stuff until we can get a Lucas, which is a CPR device.
I love the critical care piece of things, seeing the gunshot wounds, that adrenaline rush, working with all these people, a part of a team. I would say also ECMO. So ECMO is where you're bypassing typically the lungs because this patient is super sick. The surgeons there are just so many things going on at once to save this one person's life.
So we see patients from brand new newborn preemie babies all the way up to 100-year-old grandmas. So we are in a little bit of everything, and you need lungs to breathe.
We do see it all here. We see anywhere from farm accidents to drownings to car accidents, hunting accidents. We really see it all.
Oh man, I've done a lot of cool stuff. So I've gotten to see a chest cracked open in the ER. I've gotten to hold people's brains in. I know that sounds gross to you, but it's actually really cool to me.
We're on the code teams, we're on the art teams. We're right there, helping with the airways, we're helping anesthesia.
We work in the ER, NICU, ICU, CICU, and at progressive floors. We also work on all the medical floors as well. So we are literally in the entire hospital.
They also work in pulmonary rehab, so the outpatient side of things. So I really enjoy seeing them in the hospital, seeing them in the ER, seeing them in the ICU, and then transition to home, and then the outpatient healing, getting better, getting stronger.
So a respiratory therapist, you save lives. I mean, it's that simple. You get to save lives, you make a difference. I will never forget, I was at the cafeteria at my old hospital and I was getting something, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we had just coded a fairly younger female, got her back, saved her and everything. I was the first one that jumped up to do compressions on her. And her little boy was probably 4 or 5, younger, and her husband were standing at the door. So they actually got to see this at first. And I was in the checkout line at the cafeteria, and I just feel arms come up and wrap around my leg. And I'm like, what in the world? It shocked me. And I looked down, and he looked up with tears in his eyes, and he goes, "You saved my mommy." I just started bawling right there. I gave him a big hug, and his dad and her husband came up and he goes, "Can I please hug you?" And I'm sitting here bawling. I'm like, you guys are comforting me, and I'm bawling my eyes out here. And it's you make a difference. And I got to go home and know that I saved that little boy's mom. Yes, it was a team effort, but he saw me pumping on her chest, which is something a little boy should never have to see. But that's the something that he remembers.
In Minnesota, there's only 5 colleges that offer respiratory therapy, and they don't graduate enough to fill the market.
It is going to be very well needed going forward. There's an RT shortage right now, so no doubt going forward we're going to need more RTs in this field.
The market is wide open.
It's such a vast career. There's so many opportunities to grow in it.